Hello, my dear students, trainers, learners, and the rest of the listeners. Welcome for this presentation in which we are going to learn about how to create an assessment e-portfolio using Google Sites. How to create an assessment e-portfolio using Google Sites. My name is MemJM, or you can simply call me Emily Swap. One of the greatest challenges facing many trainers and trainees in TVET institutions in Kenya today is in the creation, utilization, and maintenance of physical files to serve as portfolio of evidence, or what is called POE, for individualized formative assessment. This is because the process of preparing these POEs and making sure that they contain all the artifacts to serve as evidence for formative assessment has not only been cumbersome and time-consuming, but it has also been consuming a lot of physical space in relation to storage for those files. However, due to the important role that the portfolio of evidence play in the academic journey for the trainees, and especially in serving as evidence for formative assessments, this tool cannot be phased out from the trainees' academic life, nor can it be phased out from our TVET institutions in Kenya. Therefore, the only remedy to those challenges emanating from the creation, application, and maintenance of physical portfolio of evidence files is to replace them with electronic portfolio of evidence, or what is called ePortfolio, which is also called the assessment ePortfolio. Therefore, the purpose of this presentation is to introduce to you, my dear students, trainers, and the rest of the learners, to the electronic assessment portfolio of evidence, or ePortfolio, take you through the prerequisites for creating an assessment ePortfolio, and demonstrate how you can create and utilize an electronic assessment portfolio of evidence. So, what is an ePortfolio? An ePortfolio, or an electronic portfolio, is an electronic evidence for one's progress in learning and in the field of work, showcasing one's academic progress, life achievements, personal skills and goals in form of text, images, videos, audio, blog entries, and hyperlinks. And for this reason, an ePortfolio can be said to be a collection of evidence in an electronic format that showcases learning and achievements made an individual over time. And therefore the question arises, or the question that arises is this: if that is the definition of an ePortfolio, then what is an assessment ePortfolio? An assessment ePortfolio is an electronic portfolio containing artifacts that serve as evidence for formative assessment and used to assess students' competency on certain standards or topics. You may ask yourself, if we are speaking about an assessment ePortfolio, does it mean that there are other types of ePortfolio? The answer is yes. There are various types of ePortfolio depending on their purpose. There is what we call the showcase portfolio. We have the assessment portfolio, we have the learning portfolio, and other types of portfolio. And for you to be able to know more about those other types of portfolio, just search for creating an ePortfolio using Google Sites video that has already been posted in the Meriswap ICT YouTube channel. The audience for the assessment portfolio is typically the trainers, the assessors, the verifiers, supervisors, and the assessment body, for example, CDAC and others. This assessment ePortfolio is not about including your best work or work that received the best grade, but it is all about highlighting your assessment journey in the course of your training. Therefore, because a trainee's ePortfolio for assessment is not for public consumption, but to be used by selected individuals, such as the unit trainer, the internal and external assessors, verifiers, or the assessment body. It should contain all the required assessment information. This simply means that whatever that you do as a trainee that appertains to your training, and more so in relation to assessment, it is supposed to be kept in the ePortfolio. For this reason, a trainee does not need to fear exposing his or her performance because the ePortfolio and its content remain private until one decides to make it public. Some artifacts to include in your electronic assessment portfolio include your marked scripts or assessment reports, the paper drafts, the practical lab reports, reflections, personal student details, institutional basic details, amongst others, as will be required by your academic institution or an assessment body. It is the owner of the assessment ePortfolio that decides who can view his or her ePortfolio, what artifacts are added into it, how it is designed, and so on. For example, if a student is required to include in his or her ePortfolio the assessment reports, that is marked scripts for various units, this trainee will only assign the trainer, assessor, or verifier who is concerned with the right to access it. The trainee may share different elements with different trainers. For example, if a trainee is being trained various units of competence by different trainers, each trainer can be granted the right to access his or her unit of competence elements, but the verifier or external assessor may be granted the right to access all the elements in the ePortfolio. For this reason, whenever a trainee is creating an ePortfolio, he or she should be aware of those people that he or she will be sharing it with, so that he or she can know what to include or what to make visible and to who. One can always amend the content of his or her ePortfolio as time passes because the content in it is dynamic. This simply means that you continue building your ePortfolio and adding more content into your ePortfolio as you continue undertaking various assessments in your training journey or as you continue pursuing your course. So, what are the prerequisite requirements, or what are the prerequisites for you to be able to create an assessment ePortfolio? In other words, my dear trainers, students, and the rest of the learners, you don't just rush into creating an electronic ePortfolio using any platform before you undertake various other preparations. And therefore, before you embark on using your computer or using an application to be able to create an electronic portfolio, there are a number of things that you need to put in place as a student. So, what are some of those prerequisites towards creating an assessment ePortfolio? Number one, you need to identify or to know the type of ePortfolio that you are creating. This is because there are various types of ePortfolio, but the content for each portfolio varies. Therefore, it is the content for an ePortfolio that determines what type of ePortfolio that will be. This simply means you can have more than one ePortfolio. For example, you can have an assessment ePortfolio for assessments, a learning ePortfolio that shows your academic journey and what you've been doing in your course. You can have what we call the showcase ePortfolio that showcases who you are, the world, amongst others. And therefore, in the context of this presentation, our interest will be an assessment ePortfolio. Number two is to make a decision on what you would like to include in your ePortfolio or what you are required to include. For example, the art in your ePortfolio may include the assessment reports, that is marked assessment tools, the projects done, the checklist given, amongst others. So in our context for this presentation, the trainee is informed by his or her trainer on what to include, as well as the assessment body, for example, CDAC. So you don't just put in the ePortfolio for assessment anything anyhow. Whatever you place in your assessment ePortfolio must be concerned or related to your assessment progress in your academic journey or as you pursue your course at your level. Number 3, you collect all the required artifacts and store them in an accessible location, such as Google Drive, Dropbox, or desktop folder, amongst others. In other words, my dear students, trainers, and the rest of the learners, what we mean is you are supposed to continuously gather materials for what I'm calling artifacts that showcase or relate to your assessment. Anything that you do, you need to take a soft copy for it. You need to take a photo for it. Any document, you need to scan it. If it's soft copy documents, you need to have them. So from the day you commence your course, you are supposed to make your ePortfolio from the beginning. In other words, you are supposed to continuously gather various assessment documents that you undertake or that you interact with as far as they are concerned with your assessment. So anything that relates to assessment, you need to continuously collect it and keep it safe in a certain storage medium. For example, in a desktop, in a certain folder, or in a Google Drive or Dropbox, so that when the need will arise for you to showcase those elements within your ePortfolio, it will not be a handy task to gather the evidence. And once your ePortfolio is ready, you need to be uploading those elements directly into your ePortfolio, but only those elements or those contents or those items that are important for your assessment. The artifacts, therefore, are simply the evidence for your assessments as required by your academic institution or the examining or assessment body. Examples include the assignments given, the project work assigned, the assessment presentations made, marked assessments, marked checklists, and other assessment artifacts, such as documents in Word, PDF, images, videos, files, amongst others. As a trainee, you need to be taking photos of every assessment activity you engage in, be converting every hard copy document in soft copy, and be keeping all the soft copy assessment documents in an accessible electronic location, such as in your phone, your computer, your Google Drive, etc. Therefore, as a trainee, you are required to be keeping a record of every assessment activity you undertake within a learning session or training period. Just as I've said, you don't need to wait until your portfolio of evidence is required, and then you start rushing towards preparing it. You need to prepare in advance. Continue building your ePortfolio as you continue, and the journey for your ePortfolio will be very easy. So don't wait until when you are required to submit your portfolio of evidence to put your assessment records and artifacts in order. Number 4, you need to select the artifacts to include in your ePortfolio from your collection. As you select your artifacts, you want to make sure that each of the elements you select adds value to your ePortfolio. In other words, whereas you have collected a lot of artifacts or a lot of evidence in relation to your assessments, you only need to upload into an ePortfolio what is important, what is necessary, and what adds more value to your assessment. Then upload to your ePortfolio the most important artifacts or whatever your trainer or internal assessor or verifier may request from you to upload into an ePortfolio. Number 5 is to formulate appropriate contextual information. What is contextual information? Contextual information is the information that helps the audience understand the purpose for your ePortfolio, identify the artifacts, materials that are in your ePortfolio, and know who you are as a creator or as a trainee. Examples include an About Me section with your interest or goals, details about the course you are in and when you took it, brief explanation for each artifact, the headings for your artifacts, amongst the others. Number 6, make appropriate digital identity choices for your ePortfolio that express your individuality and how you want to present yourself through your ePortfolio. As you reflect, it is important to keep in mind where you have been, where you are, and where you are going. This entails making choices for your color schemes, pictures, font, and other ways that you hope to express yourself. It is important to keep in mind how you are presenting yourself to your audience, that is the trainer, the supervisor, the assessor, verifier, assessing body, and how it is helping you achieve your goals in relation to your assessments or your course of study. Number 7, design the structure or format for your ePortfolio. What do I mean? It is important to always make a proud decision on what will be where within your ePortfolio. You can do this on a piece of paper or notebook or using a word processor or a drawing diagram or program. What do I mean? What I mean is you don't just wake up and then you commence or you start creating your ePortfolio using a certain electronic platform. You have to plan, think of what is going to be in your ePortfolio. Note, in the same way, you are supposed to organize the content in your physical file. That is exactly how you are supposed to organize your ePortfolio. You need to know what is supposed to be where within your ePortfolio. In the same way, you are supposed to think about what is supposed to be where in your POE file. That is the physical file. Ordinarily, it is important for the content in your ePortfolio to flow, beginning with identification all the way to the last element. Once you have decided your structure, you have thought of what is supposed to be where within your ePortfolio, that is the only time that you are allowed to proceed and use a certain software or a platform to translate your design into an electronic portfolio of evidence. So in our case, as a sample for a trainee's assessment ePortfolio, the following is going to be the structure for our assessment portfolio that we are going to create in this presentation. Number 1, we are going to have the home page. Home page is the first page within your ePortfolio. It is the page that is usually found as the first one. In the same way, you would have the first page within your physical file, within your physical POE file. Here, you need to include elements that identify who you are and your institution. And for this case, we are going to include a logo for our institution, a background picture for your institution or a color that you love. Include your official name, your admission number, your contact details, including links to your social sites and your institution's name. Number 2, on the second page, you can have self-introduction. Here, you give a catchy self-introduction for who you are, the course you're pursuing, when you are enrolled, when you expect to complete, and any other information that you want your visitors, that is your assessors and verifiers, we expect to find in your portfolio based on what you value. The third element, or the third page, or the other category in your ePortfolio can be your assessments. Because most of the courses may run for more than 1 year, and you may want to advance from one level to the next level within your course of training, it is good that you organize your portfolio of evidence in terms of years. For example, we can have a page for year one assessments. What is supposed to be in this page? Under this category, you need to post all the first year's work. You can subdivide this category into specific units of competence and then subdivide it further into theory assessment and practical assessment. What I mean is, because in every year, every term, there are units of competence that you are taking, and sometimes the units of competence may span for more than one term. It is good that you subdivide your assessments in terms of their units of competence. And therefore, you can have year one assessments page. Then you subdivide it further into units of competence. And because every unit of competence has theory and or practical, you can go further and subdivide each unit of competence into two parts. That is the theory assessment and the practical assessment. Once you've done that, meaning you have been able to structure your portfolio of evidence in terms of pages and subpages, you can then proceed and upload the artifacts for the assessments done under either the theory category or practical category for each unit of competence. If you proceed to the next year or the next level, you can have another set or another category within your ePortfolio for year two assessments, and then you structure them in the same way we have structured year one assessments. That means you subdivide it into the units of competence that you are taking in your second year, and then for each unit of competence, you subdivide it further into theory and or practical. Usually, most of the courses that trainees pursue, and for example, the CBET program, contains or require a student to have an industrial attachment. Some may even pursue what we call the dual training, where you spend some time in the institution and quite a lot of time in the industry as you learn. And for this reason, it is also important that within your ePortfolio, you have a page or a section that we are calling the industrial attachment, and it may have another name pending with your assessment body or your academic institution. Now, what is supposed to be under industrial attachment? Here, you upload the information and artifacts related to your industrial attachment. You post the photos, videos, and other documents indicating your progress in the industry. It can include photos for your organization, your supervisors, your mentoring tools, your daily activities, amongst others. You can also be scanning various documents for the industrial attachment and posting them here. The other category or section of your ePortfolio is what I call additional assessment experiences. This is because whereas there are specific units of competence that you undertake within a year of your training, there may be other assessment experiences that you may have that relates, of course, to your course, but may not be limited to a specific unit. Some assessments may cut across several units, and for that reason, the additional assessment experiences section can contain those kind of experiences that relates to assessment, but not limited to a specific unit. Therefore, here, you upload videos or photos indicating other assessment activities related to your course that you might have taken during your training period. Such artifacts include photos or videos indicating your lesson participation, your presentations made in class, group discussions, amongst the others. Next, as you pursue your course and as you undertake various assessments, sometimes you may be awarded, you may be given certificates, you may receive other accolades, and therefore, if those accolades are related to your academic journey of the course you're pursuing, and they relate to the assessments that you have taken, it is good to show them within your ePortfolio for assessments. And what I'm calling the awards and the honors. Here, you upload any certificates or honors you have received in relation to your course or to your assessments. These can include institutional certificates, certificates received during contests in your line of specialization, amongst others. We also have another section that we call personal assessment. Here is where you evaluate yourself and add some evaluations in your portfolio. You post your feelings in relation to your progress or your feelings and observations in relation to your training. You can be posting here your strengths and weaknesses in the units and propose on how they can be handled either by you or by your trainer or institution for your progress. Lastly, but not least, we have what we call references. Here, you list the trainers who have taken you through various units of competence, indicating clearly the name of the unit of competence the trainer took you through, and their full contact information. Note that the structure for your ePortfolio will be determined by your institution. This is because every institution may have specific items that they need to be in your portfolio, and therefore what I've given is simply a simple structure or a guide towards your preparation for your ePortfolio. Once you have been able to design your ePortfolio, you proceed and select the technology that fits your purpose. In order to be able to make a choice as to the technology you will apply, you can be guided by some of the following questions. So once you ask yourself these questions, you can be able to make your choice as to which technology and which platform you're going to use to translate your design into an electronic portfolio. These questions include which technologies and or platforms you have that you can use to create your ePortfolio. Some of them includes Digication, Adobe, Wix, Weebly, Google Sites, amongst others. So which one do you choose? Number two, you ask yourself what you wanted, whether you want to access your ePortfolio after you graduate or after you leave the class or not. Based on the answer you get, you can decide which platform to use. So it's always good to ask yourself, which platform can you use to allow you to continue accessing your portfolio even after you leave your training? Number three, you ask yourself whether the platform that you are going to choose can allow you to upload or create the most important artifacts for your purpose. Then ask yourself whether the platform you want to select is user-friendly. Can you be able to use it? Can another person be able to understand what it contains? Can I easily understand how to add artifacts and contextual information? After that, ask yourself this other question, whether the platform you're going to use can allow you to engage in your digital identities in ways that may help your audience. That is, can you be able to upload pictures, manipulate color, amongst others? Then ask yourself whether the platform that you have is readable and accessible to your audience. That is, can it have what we call closed captions? Can it have alternate text for those who may be having some challenges, etc.? Therefore, if a platform or technology for creating ePortfolio makes provision for all the above questions, that is, if all the responses you have given are on the positive, that is yes, then you select that platform. Some platforms you can select from, just as I've said, include Digication, Adobe, Wix, Weebly, and Google Sites. Now, for the sake of this presentation, the technology that I'm going to apply in my demo will be a hardware, which is a computer or laptop, and you can also choose that. Then the laptop or the computer is supposed to be installed with the operating system, for example, Windows. Then it's supposed to allow the installation of Google Chrome browser. And lastly, the platform you're going to use is Google Sites. And therefore, for this demonstration, or for the sake of this practical on how to create your assessment ePortfolio, we are going to use Google Sites platform, which is accessible through Google Chrome which is a browser that you need to load in your computer, and the computer can be installed with Windows, for example, Windows Operating System 11 or any other. Once you are through, you then move on and transform your design into an ePortfolio. That is, you now go into your computer, load your Google Sites, and then commence the process of creating your ePortfolio using the technology and the platform you have selected. So in our case, we are going to use, or you can use a laptop or a computer to create your ePortfolio using Google Sites. For the purposes of our presentation, as I have said, ensure that you have a computer installed with Windows operating system and installed with the Google Chrome browser. If you find the Google Chrome browser is not installed, you can just search for it from the internet and install it in your computer. Once Google Chrome is ready, use it to search for Google Sites, and the Google Sites platform will be loaded. Then use that in Google Sites platform to create and maintain your assessment portfolio. The following are therefore the steps for creating an ePortfolio using Google Sites as per your design. In other words, once you have constructed your design or you have developed a structure for your ePortfolio, then the following are the steps that you can follow to bring the ePortfolio into reality using Google Sites. My dear students, trainers, and the rest of the learners, at this point, it is important for you to write down these steps because they are the ones I'm going to follow to demonstrate to you how to create an ePortfolio for assessment. And by the end of this presentation, we shall have successfully created an ePortfolio for assessment. So in this presentation, we shall limit ourselves to the structure that I've already highlighted. So the first step is to load Google. So load Google Chrome browser in your computer. Once the Google Chrome is loaded, sign into your Google account using your Gmail address and enter the appropriate password. You can use institutional students' Gmail account if, as a student, you have one. However, if you do not have a Gmail account, you can create one. If you don't know how to create and use an email, search for the following YouTube video through your browser, then listen to it, watch the steps, and do as demonstrated. The title of this video is Creating and Using an Email by Emily Swap. So to be able to access this email or this video that will train you on how to create and use your email, just go to YouTube in your computer. While in YouTube, search for the video by the title, Creating and Using an Email by Emily Swap, and you will find this video in the channel called Emily Swap ICT. Once you have been able to sign into your browser or into your account, you proceed and go to Google Sites so that you can be able to create your ePortfolio. And how do you go to your Google Sites platform? You type the following web address on the address bar in your browser: https://sites.google.com, or just type in your browser, that is Google Chrome browser, sites.google. Then from the links that will be displayed, click on Google Sites. Step number 4, from the windows that will be displayed, tap on blank site and give your portfolio site title. Number 5, add the necessary elements into the home page as per the desired structure. For example, you can add your institution logo and address, background image for institution, your passport size photo, name and animation number. Number 6, choose or install a custom theme to fit your personality. Number 7, ensure you insert text or label for each element to add into a portfolio for identification purposes and state briefly what it is and format it appropriately. Number 8, create pages such as the design and give them meaningful headings. In our case, we shall create the following pages just as I explained under the structure of our ePortfolio. 1, we are going to have the home page. Number 2, self-introduction page. Number 3, year 1 assessments page. Number 4, year 2 assessments page. Number 5 is industrial attachment page. Number 6 is additional assessment experiences page. Number 7 is awards and donations or awards and honors page. And number 8, references. Remember, you can have different pages depending on the guidelines that your trainer or your institution or your assessing body will give you. Number 9, create sub-pages in the respective pages and give them meaningful names. That is, under each page, you can subdivide it into sub-pages. In our case, the pages which will have sub-pages are the pages by the titles Year 1 assessments and Year 2 assessments, just as I explained. These sub-pages will have the names of the specific units of competence as per that level. For example, develop computer program, install computer program, digital literacy, amongst others. Number 9 or number 10, subdivide each page for a unit of competence into theory assessment and practical assessment subpages, respectively. Number 11, organize the content in your pages or subpages using content blocks and subdivide it into sections using what we call the dividers and the spacers. Number 12, you can then insert or upload your elements into the respective pages or subpages. Such elements include images, videos, including those from YouTube, documents or docs, slides, sheets, forms, calendar, maps, and charts. Number 13, to show scrolling images on your site, you can insert image using what we call the image carousel and insert. To change how the carousel shows images, click on settings and edit as necessary. Number 15, you can also insert links to various elements in your portfolio or from your right by use of button tool from Insert tab. You can also embed resources into a portfolio using the Embed tool from Insert menu. Number 16, to add links to a social site such as Facebook, YouTube channels, etc., use what we call the social links tool and Insert. Number 17, you can use spacers to rearrange your site layout and add empty spaces between different items. Number 17, you can use spacers to rearrange your site layout and add empty spaces between different items. You can drag and drop to move the spacer, and you can adjust the size of the spacer. Spacer is inserted from Insert tab. Number 18, you can also add a table of contents to your ePortfolio by setting the text you wanted to serve as headings, and then you select the table of contents from Insert tab. Number 19, once you are done with designing your ePortfolio, it is good that you preview your site and make sure it looks good on mobile. In other words, when you click on preview, you have the opportunity to choose the platform you want to view it from, either the mobile, the laptop, or the computer. And lastly, publish your site and use custom web address. Here, ensure that your site is shared with only your trainers, assessors, verifiers, or assessments body, or publicly with the whole world if you want. Allow crawlbots to crawl your site by reviewing your published settings. Select a web address that is a description of you or your work. Then click Manage to set permissions for this site. Click on Publish to publish the site with the options you choose once you are done. In case you make any changes, publish or click on Publish whenever you make portfolio updates. Always tap on Publish button whenever you make any edits and make sure that sharing is turned on from the Share menu. And now that you know the prerequisites and you know the procedure, let us now proceed and create a Google site ePortfolio. Let's proceed and create a trainees assessment ePortfolio using Google Sites, following the procedure and the guidelines that I've already explained in this presentation. Be keen, pay attention, and watch this demo so that you may be able to create your own ePortfolio for assessment by the time I'm done with this presentation. So, my dear students, trainers, learners, and the rest of the listeners and viewers, let's see, or let's proceed and create a sample of an assessment ePortfolio. So as you have said, the first step is to load Google Chrome in your computer. So how do you do it? You click on the Start button here in your computer, and then if you're using Windows 11, for example, you can click on All Apps, or simply search for Google Chrome in your computer if it is installed. If it's not installed, you install it. So here it is. So you click on Google Chrome. Once you click on Google Chrome, you'll be able to see your Google Chrome load. Once you have been able to load your Google Chrome, you proceed and check whether you are signed into your account. In our case, we are going to check, or you check from this section here. You can also check from here. If you find that you are logged in or you are signed into a browser, you can proceed and move to the next step. So what you need to do is that once you load Google, you click on this button here, and then you're able to see whether you are logged in into the right account. If your browser has several people or several accounts that have been using that computer, you just need to click on yours. Like in this case, we can see there's Meme JM here, and there's also the account called Johnny Kamau. Now, for the purposes of my demonstration, I'm going to role play as a student, because we are creating, or this presentation is mostly meant to help the trainers or the trainees create an ePortfolio. And therefore, I'm going to create an ePortfolio as a student. And the name of this student is John Kamau. So in our case here, we can see that John Kamau is signed in the browser. If John Kamau was not signed, for example, let me sign John Kamau out. If I sign out, meaning that John Kamau is not signed into the browser, what you need to do is that once you start the browser in your computer, that is Google browser, you proceed and sign in. So how do you do it? You can click on this button on your browser here. So you just click on this section in your browser, and then if your account is not listed amongst those which are there, you click on Add New Profile. You click on this section here, Add New Profile. When you click on Add New Profile, you can see you'll be able to get this part here for signing in. So you just proceed and click on Sign In, and then once you click on Sign In, you'll be required to enter, you'll be required to enter your email account here. So you just type your email here, and then you click on next. So let me try. Let me do it. So here we can type the address for John Kamau. So you just proceed and type the email for John Kamau here. So in other words, you need to write your full email here. In our case, this is the email. This one here. So let me just copy it for the sake of showing you what we mean. So I have said, you click here, then click, let me sign out. So you can click on add new profile if you are not using your computer. Then type your email here. Just type your email at this part. Once you have typed your email so that you can be able to sign in to your Google Chrome, you click on next. From there, you see this section for entering your password. So let me enter the password for Johnny Kamau. Remember, I've said I'm the one who is calling myself Johnny Kamau, and I have an account for a student. So I want to create an ePortfolio as a student called Johnny Kamau. So I have to log into my browser using my email. That is my email for John Kamau. Then you click on next. So we are signing into our account. If that account exists, you'll be told that it exists. If it is not there, you'll be automatically signed into the browser. So in my case, or for my case, I'll click on switch, meaning John Kamau is already signed in. And that can be seen from this part here. So let's sign in, or let's see whether we are signed in as John Kamau. So you can click there. If you are not signed in as John, you click on sign in. And then you enter the email again if you are asked for it, and you click on next. If you are given any information where you need high level of security, like in my case, I'm using a computer with high level of security where the computer requests me to enter a PIN. So you just enter a PIN, but if it's a password, just enter the password. And with that, my dear students, my dear trainers and learners, you can see that we are now signed into the browser as John Kamau. So we are in our right account. Once we have signed in the browser with our email account, we can now proceed and type https:// then sites.google.com, and we press enter. You can see we have been taken to a screen or a web page with several links, and we're interested with Google Sites. So we proceed and click on Google Sites. There we go. Once you are on this web page from Google Sites or for sites, you look for blank site. That is, if you want to create your Googles or if you want to create your portfolio from scratch, but if you want to create it using an existing template, you can click, for example, on this option here. But for the sake of enabling you be able to see how we create from scratch, we are going to use this option here. That is, start new site. And we are going to start from scratch. So what you do, once you are here, you click on blank site. Always wait for your page to load. There we go. Now, once you are here, it's always good to give your page a title. For our case, I would advise that let your home page, your page title, contain your name as the trainee. So in my case here, the name for this file, the same way you would have cover page for a physical file, will be John Kamau. That is, you type John Kamau. You can proceed and format this text the way you want. But before we do that, it's also important that you rename this part here. You give your site, your ePortfolio, a name. So you click there, you click here, and then type. It's going to repeat the same name. This file is for John Kamau. That is me as a student. So I'll type my name again here, and it will be John. It will be John Kamau. And you can even add it further, add even the name, because you may have two names that are similar, namely John Kamau Otieno. And also here, I can have it as John Kamau Otieno. So that's how you give the name. From there, you can continue and format this page header or this page text as you want. If you want to change its color, you select it like that, and then you click on this icon here. When you point on it, it reads text color. You click on text color, and then choose the color that you want. For example, I can choose this one here. You can see the color changed. You can also make it even bold or thicker by clicking on B here. If you want to underline it, you click on U for underline. It's also good for you to decide whether you want the title to be the normal text, to be a title, or to be a heading. So in my case, I want it to be title, so I click on title. If you want to settle it within this text box or this placeholder, because you can see this text is within this placeholder, which has various handles here, then what we need to do is you just select the text by pressing at the starting point, press your mouse button down and drag it. And then click on this button here, which is for align. You click on align. Then you can decide whether you want to center align, you want to left align, or justify. If I click on justify, it will look like that. But it is good for me to choose center, like that. You can also decide to adjust this text placeholder by pointing on this handle, press down your mouse button, and drag it either outwards on both sides or inwards based on how you want it to look like. So let me have it like that. Remember, you can also change the font type by clicking on this part here and choose the font type of your choice. If you choose a certain font, you can see the heading will change or the text will change. So it depends with what you want. So like in my case, I can have it like that, but this text is not very nice. So I can change the color to, for example, blue, that way. But if you have background which is black, which is dark like mine, ensure that your text is transparent. Now, if you don't want to really spend a lot of time formatting your text, changing its color, broadening it, and etc., you can choose a predefined set of colors or formats. which can affect your entire portfolio. Combination of colors that are automatic. How do you do that? You select the theme that you want. And where do you get the theme? You click on, if you check here, if you check at this section, we have insert, we have pages, we have themes. So what you do, you just need to select or click on not insert, not pages, but on themes. If you click on themes here, and then you scroll using the mouse button, you can see we have several predefined formats. We have the simple, we have Aristotle, we have diplomat, we have version, we have level, we have impression. If I click on simple, that's how it will look like. If you click on Aristotle, you can see the text has automatically changed. If you click on diplomat, it will look like that. If you click on version, it will look that way. If you click on level, it will look that way. If you click on impression, it will look that way. Remember, this is a combination of set of colors and the fonts. So for the case of my portfolio, I'm going to choose version. So I'll click on version so that I don't stay making changes to my text every time and changing the colors. I want my colors to be automated. So this color scheme will be applied across my portfolio. Good. So that's it as far as the theme is concerned. We have our cover page here. The next thing we need to do is to customize it further, the home page. How do we customize it? To customize it, we can add a number of things. One of them is the logo. So I'll click on add logo here, then go to your storage location and upload a logo. It is good to have the logo for your institution. So from the settings dialog box that has appeared on window, you click on upload. So I'll click on upload. When you click on upload, this window will be displayed, which gives you opportunity to browse for your pictures wherever they are. So in our case, I'll click on ePortfolio. That's our folder. Remember, I have said in this presentation that we need to organize our images in a certain folder or in a drive, or all the items for your assessment should be stored somewhere for easy access. So mine are organized in this folder. So I'll click on ePortfolio, and then I'll click on pictures. I have some logo here. For my institution, as a student called John Kamau, I'll choose the logo for my institution. That is Nkabune Technical Training Institute. That is the logo. And then once I've done that, I can close here. So I'll click on the close. You can see that a logo for my institution has been added next to my name here. The next thing that we can do is we can add a background image for our cover page. So instead of our background looking this way, the way it looks, we can change it so that it contains, or we can customize it so that it indicates the institution where Johnny Kamau is. We customize the portfolio. So in our case, I'm going to have background for my institution. So when you move your mouse on this space, you can see at the bottom here, we have something we are calling image, and we have the header type. So you can decide how you want the header for your page to look like. If you want to make it different from what it is, you can click on cover. You can see how that page will look like. That is cover. If you click large banner, it will look that way. If you click on banner, it will look that way. If you click on title only, it will look that way. So because this is my cover page or home page, let me click on large banner. So that is my banner there. So that's the one I want to maintain for my header. So my header will be of that type. Now we can proceed and change the background for this header by clicking at this button here. You can see when you move your mouse pointer, you can see there's this part here called image. I want to customize it by uploading a background for my institution, customize it. And in this case, I'll add this background here. So just click it and click add. You can see that's now our header or our background for the header. We have customized it. Now, is this enough for home page? No, we need our home page to also have some detail for the institution for John Kamau, and we also have a passport for John Kamau. So how do we add the detail for the institution? How do we add the passport here? So what we need to do here, we can click on insert, or we can click, yes, we can click on insert. And then because we want to add two images next to each other, we want to add the logo for the institution where Johnny Kamau is and Johnny Kamau's passport together. We can click at the insert menu or insert tab here. Then we scroll to content blocks and choose a content block that allows two pictures and text. And here it is. So I can click on this content block. Once you click on that content block, you can see we have two provisions here or content blocks. We have click to edit text, click to edit text here. So let me insert the first one being for Johnny Kamau, the passport. But because Johnny Kamau belongs to an institution called Kabune, it is good to start with the logo of Kabune. So I'll click on, and you click on this part here. This one. This is for allowing you to upload or select an element. So I'll click on this button here. You can see once you click, you can either upload, select an image if it's already existing. If you have the image from your drive, you can add it here. If you want to add a video, like for introduction from YouTube, you can add it from here. You can also add a calendar or a map if you want. So I'm interested with uploading an image because it's already in my computer. So I'll click on upload. Now, once I've clicked on upload, you can see I'll be given an opportunity to browse where my picture or my logo is. So this is my logo. I'll pick this logo. You can see it has been added here. So you can resize your logo either outwards or inwards. So if you want to resize it outwards, you drag downwards like that. If you want to resize from the side, you point on that handle and you drag that way. If you want to move it, you place your mouse pointer into it and then you move as you want. You point, you move. So that's my logo. I can now proceed and type or define it and a label. So here I'll type this way. I'll say this is my institution's logo. My institution's logo. I'll just type the name of the institution. The name of the institution is Kabune Technical Training Institute. That means that Johnny Kamau is a student here. And then you can add text here. You can write, this is my academic institution. You can always right click and spell check. Now, you can change the color. If you want, you select the text, then click on A for color and choose the color of your choice. I'll choose blue. And then, this is my institution. You can make it bold. You can increase the font size that way. And you can even underline if you want. So we are done with the logo. You can proceed and add the passport for Johnny Kamau. So you click on Add button. I will still upload it from my computer. And I'll select the passport for Johnny Kamau. That is the passport for Johnny Kamau. You can point on that edge and adjust it downwards like that. You can also adjust it from the side that way by holding that handle. And then you can type. You can type the name of the institution. You can also drag it towards this side if you want to come near the logo for the institution. So here, you can type the text. You can type the name now and say, or type John Kamau Otieno as the name. And below there, you can also add the admission number. John Kamau, admission number, for example, 10 to 19. 10 to 19. You can make this text bold. You can also increase its size, for example, to 14. And you can center this text that way. You can also change its name, its color, if you want. Now, I want the size to be the same as the one for the institution. So this font size, I want to make it 21. So you can scroll or just type 21 on this tab and press enter. So you can have it that way. And then below here, you can say this, or I am the trainee. I'm the trainee. I'm the trainee at Kabune. I'm the trainee at Kabune TTI. You can even make it bold if you want. You can make it broad if you want. And remember, you can always resize your text as you want. You can even remove the text if you don't want it. If you don't want this text here, you can click on it and delete using this remove that way. So that's all with our home page. As you work, your changes will be being saved. The next activity we want to do is to add the pages into our ePortfolio. How do we add the pages? To add the pages, we proceed as follows. Remember, this is not the cover page. It is the cover page for ePortfolio. It is the home page. So how do you proceed to add other pages? So to add pages, you click on the Pages tab here. So you move here and click on this tab. So from here, you click it and then you add your pages as you want. So you click on pages, and then as you can see, there's this button here under pages. So what you do is you proceed and click on it. When you click on it, you will see this dialog box appear, new page. So from our structure, our second page is self-introduction. So I'll type self-introduction. So just type, and once you are done, you click on done. You can see that our new page has been added here, and home page is still there. So you proceed and add the other pages. So the next page, as per my structure, will be called year one assessments. I'll click on done. The next page is year two assessments. You click on done. My next page is, I want my next page to be the one which we call. The next page is industrial attachment. So I will have it as industrial attachment. Industrial attachment. If there's an error, you right click on it and you select the best name, the correct name. Then you click on done. Industrial attachment. You can see as you type your pages, they are being added on the title part of your portfolio. The next thing we want to do is to add the next page. From the industrial attachment, we can add our next page, which is I'll avoid the others and write awards and honors. That is for the purposes of showing any awards that have been given. You can see that when the pages increase, a drop-down button is provided there to accommodate additional pages. So when you click here, you can see what is added there. I can add another page. Let me add another page. And the title for my page will be references. I'll leave the others, dear students, and the rest of the learners. Remember, you are free to add more. So those are my pages. So I've already organized my ePortfolio in sections, or what we call pages. I can now proceed and add some pages. So this is my home page. You can see. To move to the next page, you click on its header, self-introduction. You can see. Then year one assessments. And then year two. And more, you can click on industrial attachment. You can click on awards and honors to go to that page. You can click on references. So that's how we navigate around. Now, the next thing, therefore, that I want to do is once you have organized your sections in your portfolio, you have the home page or the cover. You have the next page, which is self-introduction. You have the next page, which is year one assessment. Now, I wanted to add more sub-pages here because in year one, I have done several units of competence. So how do you cater for those units of competence? Because if it was in your physical file and year one, you would still subdivide the pages into specific units. So what you do to add more pages, you click on the page first. If it is on this section here, as you can see, the pages are still listed here. So for you to add a sub-page, You click on the page or you point on the page that want to answer pages 2. So I want to answer pages to year 1. So you can click on year 1 there, but the most important section is here where I'm pointing. So under year 1 or next to year 1, there are the 3 dots here, these ones. So you click on these 3 dots that way. And then you can see there's make home page. If you want it to be home page, you can duplicate the page. You can click on properties. You can click on add sub-page or hide from navigation or delete the page if you don't want it. My interest is to add a sub-page for my unit of competence. So I'll click on add sub-page. You can see, and their logbox has appeared. So because under year 1 assessments, I want to add the units of competence that I'm doing, I'll type at least 3 units of competence. So the first unit of competence, if this is a program called ICT Level 6, ICT Level 6 has several units of competence. One of them is called Develop Computer Program. Develop Computer Program. Once you click or once you are done, you click on done. You can see, if you look here, under year 1 assessment, there's this sub-page that has been added. If you click on this heading here for year 1, if you click there, you can see there is develop computer program. You can see that if you click here or you point, you can see develop computer program has been added below it. I want to add another one, another sub-page on the same. So I'll 0 point on year 1 assessments, click those 3 buttons, click on add sub-page. I want to add another unit called install computer program. Then you click on done. You can see it has been added. And if you point on year 1 assessments header, you can see the other unit has been added. I want to add the last unit under that, year 1. So I'll do the same, click on add sub-page. I want to call my other sub-page digital literacy. Remember that you add as many sub-pages as possible depending on the number of units you are taking. So if you want to move to a specific unit at the year 1, you click on the name of the unit. Like in this case, develop computer program. You can see even the header here has that name. You can move to install computer program by clicking there. You see? You can also click on digital literacy. Now, you do the same also for year 2 and the rest. So I want to further, as sample demonstration, show you how you subdivide your unit of competence into theory category and the practical for purposes of uploading your materials. So what I'll do, or what you do to subdivide a sub-page, you can click on it. So what you do, you just come to that sub-page. Like for example, this sub-page here. So what you do the same thing as the one we have done for our pages. So you point on the sub-page, like develop computer program, click on these 3 dots here, and then click on add sub-page. So what we are going to be adding now is theory assessments. Theory assessments, you click on done. You can create another one for practical. So point on that unit, that sub-page, click on add sub-page. I want to add or to have the sub-page on practical assessment. Practical assessment. You click on done. So my dear students and the rest of the learners, you can see I'm being able to subdivide year 1 into 3 units of competence. The first one is develop computer program. The second one is install computer program. The third one is digital literacy. For me to be able to add materials or assessment artifacts to develop computer program, you click on develop computer program. When you click here, you can see I have theory assessments and the practical assessments. You can also move to those parts by just going to this section. Remember, this is where our pages are organized. So you can come to this section, and while you are here, you can click on the year one, the main page. Then under it, go to the unit of competence, like develop computer program. You click. And then under it, you can click on theory assessments. If you click on theory assessments, you can see even the header is changing. If you want to go to practical assessments, you click practical assessments. So that's how you subdivide your pages, and you continue that way. You repeat the same process across all the other units. Now, the question now comes in, how do you upload materials? How do you upload materials to, for example, for practical assessments, the videos, the pictures, etc. So what you do now, I want to upload some materials at the theory assessments, develop computer program unit for year one. So what you do, go to that page, go to the sub page, the unit, and then while you're in that unit, click on whether it is theory assessment or practical assessment material. So in my case, I'll click on theory assessment. Now, once you are here, you are now on the page, you can add a divider here so that you are able to add the materials below where we are going to divide this page or this subpage. So what I'll do when here, I'll click on insert menu, and then I'll look for divider. Divider is to divide this, the header from what I'm about to add. So I'll click on divider. You can see after clicking on divider, there's this line, this part here, which has been added. This one here. So you can click below it, and now upload an image or enter text. So I want to type a text here. So I'll click on text box here. You can see when you click on text box, a text box is added there. So when I'm here, I can type something like the following. This is a header for what I'm about to upload. The following are the images for theory assessments taken in this unit. You can resize this placeholder for text like that. You can even make it borrowed that way. You can even underline it. So what I'm about to do, I want to upload some images here. So let me increase this font size to 14, and I can center it that way. So I want to upload some images here. Let me enlarge this one that way by dragging the handles. You can also move your placeholder or your text placeholder that you want. So below here, I want to add something else. So what do I want to add? I want to add some images. So what I'm going to do, I'll click on insert, then image. I want to insert an image, then upload. Once you click on images, you click on upload. I want to upload an image for one of my multi-scripts. So here it is. Then I'll click on open. You can see I have been able to upload one of my assessments here. This is the assessment. This is my multi-script. So I can resize it by adjusting that handle this way. You can even let me retain it that way, but then I resize it this way. This side, that way. You can also resize it from this edge, point there, then drag it that way, and you can even move it where you want. So that's an image for one of my theory assessments. Now, if you can continue adding more, you can continue adding more images as you want. I want to move to the practical. I want to go to the practical. So to upload something under the practical, you click on home there. Then, of course, you can go to year 1 assessments, click on develop computer program that way. Now, when you click on computer program, develop computer program, you can see there is this button here, this button. So if you point on this button and you click, you will see the subpages there. I have the theory, I have practical. So to go to practical, I'll click on practical. Now, when I'm here, I can now upload some images for my practical assessments. How do I upload them? To upload my documents, I'll click on, first of all, I'll click on divider to create a space for me. So I'll tap on divider so that I'm able to add my images below here. If I want to add text, I only click on text box. If I want to add a video, I'll click on the video. So what I'm going to do here, or I'll click on images to add the image, but if I want to add a video, I'll click on embed. So assuming I want to upload a video for my practical. If I want to upload a video for the practical in develop computer program, what will I do? So what I need to do, or what I have to do, is first of all, I have to pick that picture. For example, I want to go to the folder that contains my video. So the folder that contains my video is this folder, and my videos are here. So this is the video I want to pick. The trainee is having a practical here, but he is talking with the others. So what I need to do is, for me to upload this video, I have to copy the video. So you right click on it, you click on copy. So you copy that video, then place it in a shared folder. For example, personal, or upload it into a Google Drive. Now, in my case, I'll post it here. Now, this folder called personal is the one on my online drive. Ensure the video you want to upload is in a video, is in a drive, or in a public, or in a shareable folder, and also one which is accessible by people from anywhere. or you can access it while online. So you click on paste. You can see I'm being told that one is there, but I can still have it. So you can see this is my practical here. This is my practical, performing a group assignment. So once my video is in this shared folder or public folder, one which can be accessed online, that means it has been published. What I just need to do is I'll right click on it that way, and then I go to or I point on OneDrive. Once I point on OneDrive, I'll click on copy, this one, copy link. And then you wait. Our URL or our link is being generated. So this is the link to our video. You click on copy. Once you have done that, you go back to your ePortfolio and then decide where you want, or the section where you want to add your video under the practical. So you select or you click on embed. Once you click on embed, that is insert, you click on insert, then you choose embed. On the embed from the web, dialog box that will appear, click and by URL here, right click your mouse button and click on paste. So that's my URL. I'm uploading a video for practical. Then from there, you click on insert and you wait for your video. There we go. This is a practical. This is a practical for developed computer program, but it is more of a practical which is discussion. You can see John Kamau is somewhere here. And he is in a group of other learners. So once you have done that, you can resize your video. You can resize by pointing on one end or the end you want to resize from. Then you drag in once that way. Do the same, resize this other side as you want. Point on the other edge and resize as you want. You can also resize from downwards, for example, that way. So we have uploaded a video as a demo. You can, if you want to move this video as a whole, you can point anywhere. When the mouse pointer changes to a plus, you drag this way. As you drag, you are being shown where it will be placed. You can then continue and add some text to explain what this video is. So what you do, add some text, you click on, you browse on your list of items here, and then you can click on insert a text box. So you click on insert a text box that way, and it will be placed there. And then you can type what this practical is all about. So you can, for example, type John Kamau taking a group discussion, as part of his practical, as undertaking group discussion as part of his practical. John Kamau undertaking a group discussion as part of the practical On John Kamau undertaking and develop computer program and develop computer program a practical. Which date? You can press enter and write the date. Dated, for example, 25th, 27th July 2024. You can select that text, increase its font size, like to 12, center it by clicking on this button here for center. And then you can resize the text box as you want. For example, that way. You can even make it broad and underline it. So that's it. You can add a video. You can even add a picture as part of the practical. So what you just need to know is how to upload. So under the theory assessment for developed computer program, you have seen I have been able to upload one document. You can add more. I have also been able to define what each of these items are. This marked the script. Under the practical for developed computer program, I've been able to add a video. You can also add other images. You can add other pictures as you want. You can add more items. So these are just the examples. Next, once you have uploaded your items, you can also add other things that you want, as long as they are explaining about something to do with the assessment, including the marked checklists, etc. Now, I want to go back now to home. Let's see what is in home. This is our home page. Under self-introduction, I've not yet added anything. And year one assessments, we have already done work there. Year two assessments, I have not yet done anything because John Kamau has not gone to year two. And the industry attachment, I've not added anything, and awards have not added anything, and references have not added anything. However, we can go now to self-introduction page. Here, let me add some introduction for Johnny Kamau. How am I going to add the introduction for Johnny Kamau? I can pick a placeholder that has text and a picture. So let me click first of all on divider so that my page is organized. So I'll click here, then insert, then divider. Below not my divider, I can add a placeholder. So I'll click on insert. I'll look for a placeholder that allows one passport image and the text. So I'll click on that placeholder there. While there, I can add a picture here. So I can click on this button, click on upload. While I'm there, I can pick a picture. I can pick a picture for Johnny Kamau. Again, it can be the same one as the one which was in the cover or a different one. So let me pick the same one as the one on my cover page. Then remember, you can resize your passport as you want. So let me enlarge it a little bit. Resize it by drawing in once. You can also resize it out to start with. And then I can write here, who am I? Who am I? Then below here, I can now explain who I am. So here, John Kamau will give more details about himself. So you can start by saying, I am an ICT, or I'm a trainee, I'm a trainee at Kabune Technical Training Institute, pursuing a level 6 course or program by the name Information and Communication Technology. I am admitted in the department of Computing and Informatics. My you can always spell check your text that way. Then you can continue and say, I enrolled in this institution on 15th January, on 15th May 2024. 2024, 2024, and I expect to finalize my first year on 30th 30th April 2025. While in this institution, or you can say I'm glad, I'm excited, I'm happy to have enrolled as a trainee in this institution because I'm assured of graduating as a competent trainee, as scheduled. Thanks and welcome to my portfolio. That way. So that's the text. Remember, you can resize it the way you want. You can see how we have added the text and our image And you can always organize it the way you want. You can even move your text near your image or your image near your text that way. But always ensure there is balance. You can also increase the font size by selecting the text, then select a text size that's a little bit bigger and align it the way you want. For example, I can do just right alignment that way. So that's self-introduction. You can even introduce yourself using a video. So how do we add a video here? Or we can just have it up to that point. We have known how to add text. Now what we need to do at this point is how we navigate our portfolio. You can see this is our home page. This is our introduction page. Then we have year one assessments, year one category here, or year one page. We have added our content there, and you can always navigate around your portfolio as you want. That's year two. Now, I want to add something on the home page here, where we have the Nkabune Technical Training Institute. So instead of writing here, this is my institution, we can write the contact address of Nkabune here. So we can write Technical Training Institute, PO Box, PO Box, PO Box 330 60200 mail. So we can have it that way. For the contact for the candidate, we can just have it as admission number. So you can always edit your text. I want to add some links for the trainer. So under the references, here we can add some social links. The trainee can also add his or her links, but because this is page for references, referees, I can add social page links for the trainee, can add social links for the trainer. So what we are going to do, I'll add divider. So click on divider there, then select text box and type here the following are some social links for my trainers. You can make that broad and center it. Broad it and center it, right, and even underline. Then below here, we can click on insert, then go to social links. Click on social links. And then here, we paste the links, social links for our trainer. So the first social link I'm going to add is the link to the YouTube channel for Emily Swap. So I'll click. I'm going for the link. Note the process that I'm following. So while here, I can scroll here and select, for example, this link here. Or I can just go to Emily Swap and share the link from there. But let's see how we paste this link that we have already gotten. So you come here, after you have copied the link, you click on the paste. So this link is for Emily Swap Live Skills YouTube channel. So HTTP, then HTTP / Emily Swap at liveskills.com. If you click on insert, what will be there? You can see the YouTube link has been provided. Now, what about if I want them to share the link for Emily Swap ICT? How do I go about it? As a student who is providing the links for my trainer, I just need to go to that channel and then look for the link. So you add links by pasting. If you know the links, you just type them directly. But if you don't know the links, you just go to the site or you ask your trainer to provide with the link that you can insert on your profile. I want to delete this and again, click on social links, paste the URL here like that, and then click on insert. I can also add another one for another YouTube channel. So I can paste there. Then here, I write or I type Emily Swap ICT. I can also type the email for my trainer by writing, for example, Emily Swap at gmail.com. And then you click on insert. So you can see we have two placeholders here. You can add text to say what each is and edit that link. If you edit, you click on update. Now, it's always good to add some text to identify what that is. So for example, if this is my link, I can type here the link to my trainer's YouTube channel. And you can bring it closer. However, note, this arrangement is not very presentable. You can have them on one line like that. And then you can add your text the way you want. You can also remove the placeholder that way. So these are some links. And you can edit them as you want. And with that, my dear students and the rest of the learners, the next step is to preview your portfolio. How do you preview your portfolio? You point on this or you click on this button here to preview. So once you are done and you want to see how your portfolio looks like, click on preview. You click on preview. So you can see how our page or our portfolio is looking like. To go to home page, you click on home. There we go. That's our ePortfolio. That's our home page. To see self-introduction, you click there. You can see. Then to go to specific parts of our portfolio, you navigate it that way. Your assessments for developed computer program. There we go. Theory practical for developed computer program. There it is. You can see some are videos, other is document. Then you can see here too, I've not added anything. Industrial attachment, not yet. I won't send honors, not yet. And at references, at least I have some links, which if I click, for example, if you click on that link, we expect at the end of the day, when you publish, it's supposed to open the email for the trainer. And you can see it is doing something. So let's go back. If you want to preview on how it will look like in a tablet, that's in a computer large screen, you click on tablet here. So that's how your portfolio will look like in a tablet. You see? If you see it's not looking nicely, that's in a tablet. That's how it will look like in a tablet. To see how it will look like in a phone, you click on this button here for preview. There we go. That's how your ePortfolio will look like in your phone. And somebody will navigate, he or she will be forced to come here and navigate. And we can see our ePortfolio is good. Now we are done with creating our portfolio. How do we share? How do we publish? So what you do next, you can see what is here. What you do next is to click on publish. And when you click on publish, you can see the name is here for the web address. You can adjust this name, but I'll retain it as it is. John Kamau Otieno, but I'll remove these dashes from there. So I can have it like that. When you see this tick, it means the name has been accepted. Then you can see below here, it is asking whether you want to make it public. And this is how your URL will look like. Make it easier for people to visit your site with the custom domain like that. We are not interested with that. So we can click on publish. You can see it has been published. Once you publish it, you can check whether it is for public view or it is private. So let's see, publish settings. You can click on publish settings. They are the same ones we had. What about if you click on manage? What is there? Manage is how you want it to look like, or how you want your site to be or to look like. Now let me cancel that. So there we have our published portfolio. Now for us to see the published portfolio, you click on this button, then click view published site. So you click view published site. So that's our published site. That's our published site. We have published our site. There it is. To go back or to do editing, you click on this button here. Now let's go to home. We can click on this button here to move from there published site back to our original site. Now the question now is, how do you share? How do you share your ePortfolio? So when you are under the published site there, you can see there is the URL address for your site. This is the URL address. So you can copy this URL address and share it with the people who are supposed to access your site. So you send this link to them. You share that link with them. And by so doing, they'll be able to access your site. Now, when you share, it means that they'll be able to access the site. If I go back here and I click on this settings here, you can see the content there. If you click on this button, you can see review changes and publish. You publish site and publish. If you want to make changes to your portfolio, you can unpublish and publish again. If you want to see publish settings, you click there and be able to see them. If, for example, you come here on that wheel, you'll be able to see the content there. If you want to copy the published site link, you go here. Instead of copying directly the way you have copied, you can click here and you copy this link. That's the link you send to various people. And with that, my dear students and the rest of the learners, we have come to the end of our production in terms of creating an ePortfolio. And that's how we create and share our ePortfolio for assessments. We have now come to the end of the topic on creating an assessment ePortfolio. Congratulations for learning about how to create an assessment ePortfolio. You can access the rest of the parts in the series, as well as other computer or ICT videos by clicking or tapping on the Meliswap ICT YouTube channel below this video. To subscribe to the channel, tap on subscribe button below this video in YouTube if it's not currently reading as subscribed. For any further correspondence, kindly write to us through the email meliswap@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening to me, and God bless.